All right, council, we ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Deputy Talk, we have everybody, sir?
Yes, President Council.
Okay, all right. All right, good morning, councils, interested parties. We're back on the record of the matter of the state of Georgia versus Cleef Adams et al. In 22 SC 183572. Let me go ahead and take roll at this point in time. Mr. Beebe and Mr. Partridge, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Judge.
Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Shart, good morning. Mr. Williams and Mr. Adams, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
See, Mr. Kendrick and Ms. Hingerty, good morning. Mr. Huey and Mr. Matthews, good morning. Mr. Nichols and Mr. Harvey, good morning. Mr. Dorsey and Mr. Jimenez, good morning. Mr. Eppinger and Mr. Johnson, good morning, gentlemen. And Mr. Ryan and Ms. Dean Williams, good morning. Mr. Smith and Ms. Love, good morning. Good morning, Ms. Von Kelsen. Good morning, Mr. Randolph. All right. All right, councils, Mr. Matthews, we have the Matthews report update. We have about 15 folks to examine. Ms. Von Kels tells me that there were some no-shows that may be added to the end, but Ms. Von Kels, if they're not here by the time that we finish, probably I'm going to try and see if we can get finished around the noontime hour and not come back this afternoon to give everybody some time to do other pursuits. So they can just be added another day, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Madam, do you have any other ministerial for me?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, no problem. All right, Mr. Randolph, 1231, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, juror 13, I should say 1231, good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Madam, you identified for hardship, and I want to say that basis is that you're a caregiver, and you take care of your grandchildren, is that right?
Yes.
All right, how old are our grandchildren?
2 years and 11 years.
And is it your, so tell me your daily, do you take care of them daily, or tell me how that works?
Yes, I take care of the 2-year-old daily. I drop the 11-year-old off at school daily and pick her up from school daily.
So you pick up and drop off the 11-year-old?
Yes.
What time is drop off in the morning?
9:15.
All right, and what time is pickup?
4:15.
Okay, and whose child are you taking care of? Is this your son, your daughter?
My daughter.
And what's she doing?
She works at Wayfield Foods. She's a seafood manager.
So you bear the responsibility of getting both. You take care of the 2-year-old during the day, and you pick up and drop off the 11-year-old. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody else help out with like the father of the children, or any other relatives help out with your daughter's two children?
No, my daughter and I, we solely depend on each other.
Do you reside with your daughter, or
Yes.
do you
Yes, I do.
you live with her? Okay.
Yes.
Which Wayfield does your daughter work at?
Roosevelt Highway. I'm not sure the store number.
All right. Okay, Mr. Smith, anything, sir? Anything I'm gonna have any individual defendant?
No questions.
May I excuse your 1231 for hardship?
No objection. No objection.
All right, madam, I'm gonna excuse you for hardship, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Mr. Randolph, can we take a few of these folks out of order? Let me do 1398, please, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Juror 1398, good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Madam, you identified for hardship, and I understand that the reason for that hardship is you are non-resident. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Where are you a resident of?
I'm currently a resident of Fulton County in Cumming, Georgia.
I'm sorry, a resident of what? Fulton?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Forsyth County.
Forsyth County.
Forsyth in Cumming, Georgia.
Do you have a driver's license or some other type of documentation you can show me showing that you have otherwise, that is your residence?
Yes, I do.
Can I see something of that nature, like if you have a driver's license or?
Yes. I don't have the physical copy or the card, but I do have the paper.
Okay, all right, that'll work. When did you move to Forsyth?
2 weeks ago, May 3rd.
Okay. Councils, I am in possession of, I'm not going to take this from her because it does have her, it is a document from DDS, Georgia Department of Driver Services. It indicates that her issue date for her license was May the 2nd of this year, and it does reference an address in Cumming, Georgia. Is there any further examination that's required, councils of Juror 1398? May I excuse Juror 1398, please? All right. Madam, I'm going to give you this back. It's your driver's license. We'll wish you all the best, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Am I excused? Am I, okay.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I
Yes,
just want to
ma'am.
make sure. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Ma'am, stick around a little longer and we'll keep you, okay? All right. Thank you, madam. Let's do 1495, Mr. Randolph. Juror 1495, good morning, madam.
Good morning, Judge.
Madam, do me a favor, pull your chair up as close as you can, and speak directly in the microphone so we can all hear you, okay?
Okay.
All right, much better. All right, madam, you identified for hardship, and I understand the basis of that hardship is that you are with child and you will deliver sometime in November. Is that correct?
Correct.
So how far along are you at this point in time?
13 weeks.
13 weeks. First child, second child?
Second child.
Any issues with this particular baby, high risk, anything such as that?
No, sir.
Okay. Planning on taking FMLA?
Yes, I'll be taking 3 months off of work after the baby's born.
All right. Mr. Brown, anything else, sir? Any individual attorneys have any questions?
No questions.
May we excuse your $14.95 for hardship? All right, madam, I'm going to excuse you for hardship. Wish you the best, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, madam. Okay, Mr. Randolph, 1259, sir, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Juror 1259, good morning, madam.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Madam, you identified for hardship, and as I understand it, multiple bases, and let me see if I can go through this with you in just a second. You have, one is work-related. Then I see you're the caregiver of somebody who with special needs.
Yes, sir.
And then you're a sole proprietor. I guess that's work, business related. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. The special needs son, how old is he?
He's 15.
Okay. And what type of care do you provide him with his condition, other than being his mom?
He is 15. He's more like a 6 or 7-year-old, so he can't be left alone. He is in school from 9:30 to 2:30 every day.
What time, madam?
9:30 to 2:30.
Okay, do you drop him off, or does your husband drop him off?
I drop him off and pick him up.
Okay. And so he can't be left alone?
Correct.
Who's taking care of him today? Or is he at school?
He's at school, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, and I assume that you being a sole proprietor with Real Health Medical, is that your company?
Yes, sir.
How long have you done that for?
17 years.
Okay.
Long time.
And I assume that you having that particular, business ownership in this particular medical entity allows you great flexibility to take care of the day-to-day needs of your son?
It does. I generally work from home.
Okay, all right. Mr. Smith, anything, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Anything on behalf of any individual defendant?
No, sir, based on that information.
May I excuse juror 1259 for hardship?
Yes, sir. No objection.
All right, madam, I'm going to excuse you for hardship, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. 1264, Mr. Randolph.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, juror 1264, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you identified for hardship, and I want to say the basis for that hardship is work-related and health. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, let's talk about the health. Did you bring me any documentation from a physician or any other medical provider?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, can you hand that to Deputy Talton, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, counsels, I'm in possession of a document from our juror's medical provider who indicates that our juror suffers from several chronic medication conditions that are exacerbated by when he sits for long periods of time, and the medical provider asked that he be excused from jury duty due to these medical issues, and that long periods of sitting will exacerbate his symptoms. So what type of condition do you have, sir? Just I wouldn't ask you otherwise, but just so, because it doesn't really kind of say anything.
Sure,
But
sure.
tell me what, so I can add to this, and
Yes, sir.
it won't take much longer.
Yes, I have, have coronary artery disease, peripheral vascular disease, diabetes. I have a DVT, blood clot in my left leg. What else?
What type of diabetic are you, type 1 or type 2?
Type 2.
Okay. All right, and these conditions exacerbate your ability to sit?
Yes, the blood clot particularly. Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Smith, anything, sir? No, sir. Anything I have any individual defendant?
No, Your Honor.
May I excuse juror 1264?
No, sir.
All right. I'm going to excuse juror 1264 for hardship. Sir, I'm going to release you at this point in time, okay?
Thank you, sir. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
1273, please, Mr. Randolph.
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror 1273, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, are you identified for hardship? And I want to say that basis for hardship is work-related. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And we have a little bit of information about you. So at this point, are you unemployed, sir? Or you started back working?
No, I'm not under contract right now. But
What do you ordinarily do? What's your trade or occupation?
I'm a consultant in the banking industry.
And how long have you done that for, sir?
Since 2010.
Okay. And how long have you been without a job at this point in time?
The last contract I was under was ended in March last year.
Are you looking for employment at this point in time, sir?
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you what you made last year in terms of salary?
Last year,
Just guess. It's not exactly. You don't need to tell me exactly.
40,000.
All right. Do you own a home, have a mortgage?
No,
You rent?
no, my house is paid for.
Do you have any extraordinary expenses between you and your spouse, such as medical, tax, debt, any other things that we need to know about?
No, sir.
And how much do you have in checking and savings at this point in time?
Probably about 200,000.
So, do you have any adult children you pay tuition for or anything like that, or school loans or anything?
No, sir.
Okay. So if you were here with us for about 6 months, would it be fair to say that you probably have to expend some of this $200,000 that you have in checking and savings to pay some of your ordinary and customary expenses of living and otherwise?
Yes, sir.
Would that put you in financial peril or concern?
Yes, sir.
Would that financial peril or concern affect your ability to come into the four walls of this courtroom and provide these parties in their interests with your undivided attention?
Yes, sir.
Would that furthermore also, or could it affect your ability to be fair and impartial both to the state of Georgia as well as to each individual defendant?
No, sir.
So you could be fair and impartial, but the drain on your finances would cause you not to be able to pay attention. Is that what you're telling us?
That would be a concern.
Okay. Mr. Brown, anything, sir? Or, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith, anything? I apologize. Anything on behalf of any individual defendant? No, sir. May I excuse juror 1273 for hardship? Yes, sir. Sir, I'm going to excuse you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
For hardship. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
1390, Mr. Randolph.
Yes, Your Honor. 59.
Juror 1390, good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Madam, you identified for hardship, and I want to say that basis for that hardship is financial. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. We have a little bit of information about you, Juror 1390, that you provided. You gave it to us. So, are you a stalker with Walmart?
Correct.
All right. Madam, how long have you worked for Walmart?
Approximately 6 months.
6 months, okay. And are you hourly or salaried?
Hourly.
And how much do you make an hour?
I believe $15.78.
Okay. And do you happen to know what Walmart's juror policy is?
I have a call in to Human Resources.
Okay. When did you call in to them?
This is my second call, and my Human Resources person is supposed to get back to me by the end of the day.
Are you full-time? Meaning that you work 40 hours a week, or?
Not every week. Sometimes 32 hours a week, sometimes 40 hours a week.
Okay. And, madam, let me ask you a few other questions. Do you own a home, have a mortgage, or do you rent?
I am currently living with a relative.
Do you have to pay rent to that relative?
Well, I have to be out on June 30th.
So the relative gave you a date to move out?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Do you have any extraordinary expenses such as a car note, a medical, tax, or other bills that we need to know about?
No, sir.
Okay. What do you have in checking and savings at this point in time?
In checking, probably about 11,000.
Savings?
None.
None?
No.
Okay. All right. Madam, is your, I don't know if I have enough to kind of continue your examination, but, you, as I mentioned earlier, you designated for hardship for financial, is that correct?
Financial, I also put transportation and the fact that I have to seek, another place to live within the next, by June 30th.
How's the trying to find another place? Are you trying to buy, are you trying to rent?
I would have to rent.
What's causing the relative to decide to not let you stay there longer than June 30th?
It's just a contentious relationship. I lived there for many years, took care of my mother for 17. She passed on June 16th of last year. So now I need to move on.
Okay, I got you. All right, and tell me about the transportation issue.
I don't have transportation at this time.
How'd you get here?
I rented a vehicle.
How long have you been without a vehicle?
For probably more than 2 years.
How do you get around otherwise?
I do not. I get to work. I do use the relative car because I am about half a mile away from work, or I use Lyft if the car is not available to me.
Okay. How much did you have to pay to rent the car?
It costs me probably about $130 every time because I have to use Lyft to get to the rental place and back. And it's about $100 to rent the car.
Okay. Mr. Smith, do you have any other questions, sir? No, sir. Any further defense counsels have any questions of juror 1390 for hardship? No questions. May I excuse juror 1390 for hardship in the aggregate, counsels? Yes, sir. No, all right. Madam, I'm going to excuse you for hardship, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. $1391, Mr. Randolph?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Juror 1391, good morning, madam.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay, madam, do me a favor. Pull your chair as close as you can to the microphone. Speak directly in it so we can all hear you, okay? All right, let's try.
Is it better now?
That's much better. It's talk radio. Okay, madam, you identified for hardship, and I want to say it's two bases. One is family, and one is the caregiver of your son. Is that correct?
Yes, Honor.
All right. How old is your son?
My son is 9 years old.
9 years old. And what type of care, other than being his mom, are you providing him?
I'm a single mother. I'm responsible for his care. I'm a household my house. I just working by, it's me and him. I don't have any other, family members here. I'm responsible for his medical, education, clothes, all what he needs.
Okay. Tell me about pick up and drop off of your son every day. So what times do you have to go to school?
So he started school at 7:10.
Okay.
I drop him off every morning with my transportation, of course. And I finish work around 2:40. It depends if the last patient is not showing. I can leave on time. He back from the school around 3:30. I live in 8 minutes away from work, so give me enough time to catch him on the school bus.
Okay.
On the way back.
All right. And it's just you? No other, no father of the child, no lineal relatives, anybody else that helps you out?
Your Honor, I am from Peru. All my family is there. It's just me here. I don't count with any friends or other people take care of my son because all the situation with the child abuse and
Yes, ma'am.
many things happens every day. I'm very concerned about my son.
Okay, all right. Is your son involved in any after school or any other activities after 3:30?
No, sir. He is attending, actually, yes, she's attending basketball. He just finished, yesterday was his graduation. On Tuesdays was the practice and Saturdays was the games. Also, he registers on Boy Scouts. That is a meeting every month on Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah, from 6 to 7:30. This is his 4 years of Boy Scouts.
And you take him to that?
I'm
You
sorry?
you take him to the Boy Scout meetings?
Absolutely, yes.
And so school's about to get out, what's he gonna be doing for the summer?
So on the summer, I'm planning to purchase a ticket for him to send to Peru with my family so I can be working, full-time and without issues.
And when's he coming back?
He's supposed to be back before school, which is starting on August the 7th.
So he's gonna be back August the 7th?
Yeah, yes. Also, I have another option that probably work from home for the call center because I am medical assistant interpreter, and that helps a lot to the company, but I don't have any answers back yet, so I request to be working from home. If this is the case, I'm gonna stay with my son to save money on these
got you.
tickets that is expensive.
Okay. Anything, Mr. Smith? Anything on behalf of any individual defendant?
No question, Judge.
May I excuse your 1391 for hardship? All right. Madam, I'm gonna excuse you for hardship, okay?
Thank you,
Thank
Your Honor.
you. All right. 1400, Mr. Randolph?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror 1400, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Sir, you identified for hardship, and I want to say the bases are financial and travel. Is that correct?
And medical.
I'm sorry?
And medical.
In terms of medical, did you bring any documentation or an affidavit from a doctor you want to show me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you hand that to
There's two items.
Deputy Talton, please? Thank you. That's what I need right here. I'll give him this back. Mr., I should say, Talton, you can give him that back. All right, Juror 1400, it seems like you have a couple of medical conditions. You're currently being treated for high blood pressure, swelling, and low heart rate. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is the swelling in your extremities?
It's my feet and ankles.
Okay. Counsels, I'm in possession of a medical affidavit exemption on behalf of our juror that has been signed by his physician, which indicates that in his medical opinion, he's permanently disabled, should not be considered for jury service. Any other further examination I need to make, Mr. Smith or any other individual defense counsels?
I have no questions.
All right, may I excuse juror number 1400 for hardship? All right. Sir, I'm going to excuse you for hardship, okay? Wish you the best.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. 1401, Mr. Randolph. And I'll include the affidavit as the next court exhibit in order. Juror 1401, good morning, madam.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Madam, you identified for hardship, and I want to say there's three bases: primary caregiver, financial, and travel. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you have a document that you wish to show me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you hand that to Deputy Talton for me, please? Thank you, sir. Okay, madam, you've handed me a number of documents. I'm gonna hand those back to you in just a minute. I think I can probably examine you. I thought maybe you had a medical or some other type of a document for a primary caregiver, an affidavit. So let me just ask you some questions. We know we have a little bit of information about you that's self-provided, so you gave it to us. So are you still a mortgage loan officer for eHome Loan Advisors?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, how long have you been with them?
Since 2018.
All right, and are you your commission? Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
100%.
Yes.
How much did you make last year?
$112,000.
All right, and do you and your beloved own a home, have a mortgage?
Yes, Your Honor.
And other than the cost of the mortgage and the related costs of owning a home, do you have any extraordinary bills like car note, medical, tax debt you're paying back? Anything I need to know about?
No, Your Honor.
Have any adult children you're paying student loans for, or anything such as that?
No student loans, Your Honor.
Private school tuition, anything?
I have a stepson in college.
Okay, are you two paying any money for him to go to college?
Yes, Your Honor.
How much per month do you figure?
We're paying about, I don't know exactly how much per month. I just know per year.
How much per year?
Approximately $20,000 per year, Your Honor.
Okay. So about $16.60 per month. Sound about right? Something like that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Madam, how much do you and your beloved have in checking and savings?
Would you like?
Checking, how much do you have in your checking account right now?
We have separate finances.
Okay, all right. Well, if you had to total what was in your checking account, his checking account, what would you say was in there total?
Approximately 25,000, Your Honor.
Okay, and jointly in savings, what do you all think you have?
My savings account, Your Honor, is about 7,000 or 8,000, and I am not sure what is in my husband's savings, Your Honor.
Okay. Madam, would it be fair to say that if you were with us about 6 months, would you lose somewhere around almost $56,000 in income?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would it be fair to say you'd have to spend some of the $25,000 that you have in checking and savings to pay your customary and ordinary bills, your mortgage, and these student loan costs for your stepson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would that put you in financial peril or concern?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would that financial peril or concern affect your ability to come into the four walls of this courtroom and give these parties and their varied interests your undivided attention?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would it also affect your ability to be fair and impartial both to the state as well as to each individual defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, anything further? Any individual defendant wish to meet the court or wish to propound any questions?
No additional questions.
May I excuse your 1401 for hardship?
Yes.
All right, madam, I'm going to excuse you for hardship, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, madam. 1447, Mr. Randolph.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi.
Juror 1447, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
All right, madam, do me a favor, speak directly in the microphone so we can all hear you, okay?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Madam, you identified for hardship, and I want to say that predicate for your hardships are financial and medical, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, did you bring me any affidavit or medical documents that you want to show me?
I did bring my.
All right, can you hand that to Deputy Talton for me, please?
Yes.
All right, madam, let's talk about the medical. What type of medical conditions do you have that you want to tell me about?
I have several, but the major ones are lupus and epilepsy.
How long have you been diagnosed with both those two conditions, madam?
Lupus since 2011 and epilepsy since 2015.
Are you on any daily medication for either one or both?
Yes.
How does the lupus manifest itself daily? Want to tell us a little bit about that?
So for my lupus, it all happens with triggers. So anything can trigger my lupus, including stress or lack of sleep. And yeah.
Okay, all right. How do you deal with that being a teacher? We have a little bit of information about you, which is self-provided, so.
Okay, so
Those times you don't need to give me that creepy look, like how did you know that? You told us, okay?
okay.
So,
So I work with younger children. So I am a kindergarten teacher. So I have a paraprofessional. So when I do need assistance, she provides that assistance.
And then also my employment knows as well. So when I need an extra moment, they give me that moment.
Okay. What about the epilepsy? Does that, in terms of, do you have periods where that affects you, and if so, how often?
So for my epilepsy, I do have triggers as well, mainly from if I don't take my medicine or sleep as well.
Does a medication that you take for either one of these conditions make you drowsy, or not be able to think, or does it affect your clarity of mind?
Yes, occasionally. They can.
How do you handle that during the workday?
I usually have to stay busy. I typically walk around. Sitting too long does make me stare off or get drowsy.
Okay. Let me talk with you a little bit about the financial.
Okay.
Madam, you work for Dubois Integrity Academy, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How long have you worked for them?
This will be my 5th year.
And are you salaried?
Yes, sir.
And what was the salary you made last year?
I think $54,000.
They're a private school, is that correct?
Public charter.
Are they a charter school?
Yes, sir.
What is the juror policy for your school?
It is. Babe, may I present that? I have it on my phone.
Okay, what page am I looking at from your contract?
It is actually in their employee handbook.
Is it, you just attached?
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
I think you just attached your contract.
Yes, sir,
Okay, I'm gonna give you back your contract, 'cause I really don't need that.
Okay.
But I will take a look at your electronic device here,
Okay.
and it seems like okay, it says, and I'm taking a look at council's on the juror's device here. It looks like that employees on jury duty leave will be paid for their jury duty service in accordance with state law. However, exempt employees will be paid their full salary for any week in which time is missed due to jury duty if work is performed for the company during such week. So it appears that they don't have to pay you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, I'm going to hand your device back to you.
Thank you.
So, madam, I got to ask you some other couple of questions. Ordinarily, be none of my business. But do you own a home? Have a mortgage?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any other extraordinary expenses other than the ones that one has in order to own a home and have a mortgage, such as you have a car note, you pay tax debt, outstanding medical, children's tuition, anything that you can think of?
Yes, sir. I have a car note, and because of my medical history, I do have to pay medical.
Okay, so how much in medical are you paying back a month usually?
It usually depends on the type of procedures I do have to have.
All right, so on the average, what are you paying back, or is not covered?
I do have an outstanding balance I have to check in on.
Madam, it doesn't have to be exact. Just tell me kind of ballpark.
Okay, I would say 150.
150,000?
No, oh, I'm sorry.
$150. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. And how much is your car note?
486.
All right. And madam, can I ask, what do you have in checking and savings at this point in time?
My checkings, I have 250, and savings, I have 0.
Okay. So if you were here with us for about 6 months, would it be fair to say you'd lose about $26,000 in income?
Yes, or more.
Or more?
Yes, sir.
Would you also have to expend some of the money you have in checking and savings to pay your mortgage and other customary expenses?
Yes, sir.
Would you be worried about about even being able to pay those, your basic necessary bills?
Yes, sir.
Would that put you in financial peril or concern?
Yes, sir.
Would that financial peril or concern affect your ability to come in the four walls of this courtroom and provide these parties and their interests with your undivided attention?
Yes, sir.
Could that also affect your ability to be fair and impartial, both to the state of Georgia as well as to each individual defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, anything further? Anything further on behalf of any individual defendant?
No question.
May I excuse juror 1447 for hardship?
Yes, sir.
All right, madam, I'm going to excuse you for hardship. Wish you the best, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Juror 1510, Mr. Randolph? Thank you, sir. Mr. Matthews Jr., for the purposes of the Matthews report, after this particular juror, three more to examine for today, okay? All right, so we're gonna go until we finish, and then I'll probably just recess. Madam?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. We've had 3 show up at 11:20.
What time were they supposed to be here?
8:30?
I think they're gonna be coming back.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Unless they've got compelling reasons as to why it is that they showed up at 11:20, I'll let you be the best judge of that, madam. But they can always be rescheduled on top of the folks that we have, okay?
Okay.
But if you'll just find out and let me know, okay? I may change my mind, all right, but, okay?
We called them. That's.
They didn't show up, because they were supposed to be here and they didn't show up?
I will double check, but, I believe that's why they're here.
Well, okay, all right. All right, madam, just keep me posted on, and respective numbers, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Juror 1510, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Sir, you identified for hardship, and I want to say that that hardship is based on a financial one. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Juror 1510, we have a little bit of information about you, and it's self-provided. So I know that you are self-employed, but I don't know, what do you do?
I am a music artist, producer, and also work in the video industry as a gaffer or a lighting technician.
And how long have you been in that trade or occupation?
I've been in it for about 10 years.
So I take it that you were ordinarily a 1099 employee, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
And how much did we make last year?
I made gross around 110,000.
Okay. So basically, if you're not working, you're not getting paid, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Do you and your beloved own a home, have a mortgage?
Yes.
And do you have any extraordinary expenses other than the ones that one has in order to maintain a home or have a mortgage?
I also have rental costs for storing equipment, but that's about it.
How much is that per month?
It's around $230.
Okay, all right. And do you have any other, like a car note or any other extraordinary expenses I need to know about?
I do not.
And what do you and your beloved have in checking and savings?
We have a total of around $40,000.
All right. So if you were here with us about 6 months, would it be fair to say you would lose about $55,000 in income?
Correct.
Would you have to expend some of this $40,000 that you have in checking and savings to pay your mortgage, rental, and other associated expenses of living?
Yes.
Would that put you in financial peril or concern?
Yes.
Would that financial peril or concern affect your ability to come in the four walls of this courtroom and provide these parties and their interests your undivided attention?
Yes.
Would then also, or could that also affect your ability to be fair and impartial both to the state as well as to each individual defendant?
Yes.
Mr. Smith, anything further? Anything further on behalf of any individual defendant? No, sir. May I excuse juror 1510 for hardship? All right, sir, I'm going to excuse you for hardship, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, 1520, Mr. Randolph?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Juror 1520, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Sir, you identified for hardship, and I want to say that hardship is predicated on three things: personal, travel, and financial. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. What's the personal reason that I need to examine you for hardship?
25 years back, my parents were murdered in India.
Oh, okay. All right. If we're going to talk anything about about what was you put in your questionnaire, we don't need to get in that yet right now, okay?
Okay.
So we can talk about that later if that should be appropriate. Where are you traveling to?
California,
And what dates of travel?
July 13th to July 18th of this year.
All right. Other than those dates of travel, we have any other dates of travel?
Not as of yet.
Okay. Sir, we know a little bit about you, that's self-provided. So are you still an IT consultant for Tata American Inc. or America Inc.?
Yes. Yes.
How long have you been with them?
Almost 4 years. I'll complete 5 years in July.
Okay. Salaried?
I make about 153K.
How much?
153K.
130?
153.
133,000.
153.
153,000.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it. And what is Tata America Inc.'s juror policy?
That policy is not very clear, but I have asked for that. Apart from that, I do projects. So I am also working on a side gig with Hicks Consulting, and I have their jury policy with me right now. And they don't pay if I don't work on a project. So
if you're not working, they're not paying you?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Do you and your beloved own a home, have a mortgage?
Yes.
Are you paying any college tuition or any other extraordinary bills that I need to know about?
Yes, I have a 21-year-old son. He is going out of state to University of Wisconsin, Madison.
All right, and how much are you paying per month for him to go to University of Wisconsin?
60K per year, so almost 5,000 per month.
Okay, all right. I have a car note? Do you have a car note at this point in time, sir?
Can you repeat that?
Do you have a car payment at this point in time?
No car payment.
Okay, no car payment. All right. How much do you and your beloved have in checking and savings?
I have about 152K.
150, 200,000?
Yes.
In checking and savings?
Yes.
Okay. So if you were here about 6 months, would it be fair to say you probably lose about $75,000 in income?
Yes.
Maybe more?
More. A lot
Okay.
more.
How much do you think you would lose if you were here 6 months or closer to 100,000?
220 to 250K. So I take projects on the side.
Okay. Oh, you got your side job as well. Okay.
Yes.
So how much do you make during the? You make 153 with Tata. What do you make on your side jobs?
Okay. So in one side job, I make
The total for your side job?
Yes, so total,
The total.
yeah, total W-2 income will come to about 450K.
So your side jobs total about 450,000?
Yes, total.
Total, okay, all right. So you probably lose more, about 325,000 if you were here about 6 months, is that right?
Yes,
Okay, all right. Would it be fair to say that you'd have to spend some of the money, this $150,000 or $200,000 in your checking and savings account to pay your mortgage and college expenses for your child and any other related expenses to live?
yes,
Would that put you in financial peril or concern?
I mean, definitely yes.
Okay, and would that financial peril or concern affect your ability to come in the four walls of this courtroom and provide these parties and their interests your undivided attention?
Yes,
And could that also affect your ability to be fair and impartial both to the state of Georgia as well as to each individual defendant?
yes.
All right. Mr. Smith, anything else, sir? Anything else on behalf of any individual defendant?
No questions.
May I excuse juror 1520 for hardship?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sir, I'm going to excuse you for hardship. Wish you the best, okay?
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
Judge.
1529, Mr. Randolph.
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror 1529, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, are you identified for hardship? And I want to say the two bases you identified are predicated on work-related and travel. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's take the travel first. Where are we traveling to and what dates are we going?
Okay, so it's personal travel. I'm going to Hawaii.
What dates?
It is July 11th to July 20th.
Are those the only dates of travel that you have?
In July, yes, sir.
Okay, what about August or September?
Undetermined. I'm a traveling salesman, so travel comes up periodically throughout each month.
Okay. We have a little bit of information about you that is self-provided. So I know you're in sales and you're with Crossview. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
What type of company is Crossview, sir?
It's a consulting firm. We do Workday consulting, software called Workday.
Okay. And how long you been with Crossview?
3.5 years.
And you salaried?
Yes,
or
sir.
You,
Commission and salary.
okay, what's your base salary?
It's 193.
193. And how much did you make in commission last year?
It was a little over 225, I think, is what it was.
So you made the base plus the 225,000 in commission?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Got to ask you some other questions, or
Sure.
it'll be none of my business.
Sure.
Do you and your beloved own a home, have a mortgage?
Yes, sir.
Do you pay any other expenses or extraordinary, that are not that are outside the customary expenses that one has when you have a home? So, like for example, do you have any medical, tax, or tuition that you pay for college-age children?
I have 2 kids in college. Yes, sir.
Okay, so how much are we paying per month for the kids in college?
Monthly, I'm not sure, but yearly, it's about 25,000
For both or one?
total.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other expense? You have a car note? Any other expenses we need to know about?
2 car
car
payments. Yes,
What are
sir.
they, what are they total?
Roughly $2,000.
All right, and what do we have in checking and savings?
Checking roughly 10,000, I think, and
Okay.
savings 40-ish.
Okay. What is Crossview's juror policy? Do you know what that is, sir?
Yes, sir, I have it right here.
All right, can you hand that to,
Yes, sir.
the Deputy Taunton for me, please, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, it looks like that your employer, you'll get paid your regular pay, but if you miss more than a week, the company's saying that you may be required to meet client service obligations, I guess, to work on after hours, and that might be to meet your deadlines. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. We're a consulting organization, so I think that's more for consultants, not sales.
Okay. For sales, do you know what they would do, or you have any idea what they would?
No, sir. That's all I have.
Okay, all right. Sir, would it be fair to say that if you were selected for this jury and you were here for at least about 6 months, that you'd probably lose about $209,000 in income based upon what your totals were last year?
Sounds about right. Yes, sir.
Would you have to expend some of this $50,000 you have in checking and savings to pay your mortgage, expenses for your 2 kids in college, 2 car notes, and other living expenses?
Most likely, yes, sir.
Would that put you in financial peril or concern?
I would say concern, not peril.
Would that concern affect your ability to come into the 4 walls of this courtroom to provide these particular parties and their interests with your undivided attention?
Yes, sir.
And could that also affect your ability to be fair and impartial both to the state of Georgia as well as to each individual defendant?
Most likely.
All right, Mr. Smith, anything else? Anything else on behalf of any individual defendant?
No question.
May I excuse juror 1529 for hardship? All right, sir, I'm going to excuse you for hardship, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. 1554, Mr. Randolph?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir? 1554, sir. All right, no problem. Juror 1554, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Madam, you identified for hardship, and I want to say the basis for the hardship is financial and caregiver. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Madam, who are you taking care of? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because when she asked me, are you a caregiver? My husband, he's a disabled vet. It's not 100%, so I didn't understand her question that he has good days and bad days.
Okay, what condition does he have, madam? What conditions does he have?
He's had 9 back surgeries. As of 2 years ago, he no longer could work. So, as well as he's had a knee replacement, and we're waiting on the other knee replacement.
All right, so you spent a lot of time just seeing about his needs at this point, daily needs?
Yes, yes.
All right, and we have a little bit of information about you, and that is self-provided. So are you a consult, do you own your own consulting company?
Yes.
All right, does that provide you with immense flexibility to take care of your husband?
Yes.
And do you have any adult children or any other grandchildren, any other siblings that help out with your husband, or is it just you?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do have 3 daughters, and the oldest helped out today. My husband needed a knee injection, so she took him to help with the knee injection. But so, yeah, occasionally they can help out, yes.
But the primary responsibility falls on you.
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Smith, anything further, sir? Anything further on behalf of any individual defendant?
I have no questions, sir.
May I excuse juror 1554 for hardship? Madam, I'm going to excuse you for hardship, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, counsels, I have Ms. Von Kelch indicated to me these are jurors that she had called in, and for various reasons, they are now here now. So I can examine them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that would need to be examined. Oh, actually, is it 3? Is it 3?
This is just two.
Okay, all right.
Those are the 3 reasons.
Oh, so, okay, I got it. Only 3. Okay, so, all right, let's roll. Okay, it's 1373, Mr. Randolph. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Madam, come on up. All right, jurors 1373, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
All right, madam, do me a favor, speak directly in the microphone so we can all hear you, okay?
Okay.
All right, wonderful, that's better. All right, madam, you identified for hardship on 2 bases. One is financial and the other one's work-related. They're probably tied together, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, madam, I know a little bit of information about you that is self-provide. You gave it to us. So are you still a sales representative for Greenview Remodeling?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you been with Greenview?
Since October?
Of last year?
Yes,
Okay.
2022.
Okay, all right. And are you salaried, are you hourly, or are you commission?
It's 100% commission.
Okay. And how much did you make last year, even though you only there a couple, or what did they indicate is your commission, and what did you make last year?
Specifically last year, I don't recall, but my boss just sent me an email with how much I made in the last 2 months.
Okay. And how much was that?
A little over $10,000.
Okay. Gotta ask you some other questions. Do you rent, own a home, have a mortgage, or live with your parents? What's your situation?
I rent a studio, so I live by myself.
Okay, and how much is the studio per month with utilities?
With utilities, everything comes out to probably like $1,200.
Okay. And do you have any other extraordinary expenses, such as a car note, any medical, any tax debt you're paying at this point in time? Any other insurance?
Yeah, with everything else, like my car note's like $525, and then my insurance is like $100. And I do have some outstanding debts I do need to pay, so.
Okay, how much are those outstanding debts that you need to pay?
Probably close to $20,000.
Okay, do you have any money in checking and savings at this point in time? And if so, how much?
As of right now, probably like $400.
in both checking or savings jointly, or in one or the other?
Both of them put together. I had to pay out
Okay.
of pocket for some stuff recently.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so, madam, if you're not there at Greenview, you're not making any money, is that correct? Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
All right, and does $10,000 for, does $5,000 represent an adequate amount as to if we were to impute your income? Like you just told us your boss said you made $10,000 for the last 2 months. So is it fair to say you make about $5,000 a month?
It depends, cause like in Christmas, nobody buys stuff, so I wasn't really making sales like that. So in December, I made like $1,500 for my job.
Okay, all right. But the other months, other than December, are you comfortable with the $5,000 figure, or do you want to go less, more?
I would average it probably like 4.
Okay. 4,000.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if we did 4,000 for 11 months, that'd be 44,000, and then the other $1,500 for December. So are we around a total salary of somewhere around $46,000?
For Greenview, yes.
Okay, all right. Would it be fair to say that if you were with us about 6 months, that you'd probably lose about $22,000?
Yes, and I'd probably be evicted.
All right, and because of that, it would be fair to say that you said you'd be evicted out of your studio apartment and unable to pay your car note, your insurance, and any part of this $20,000 that you owe. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Would that put you in financial peril or concern?
Yes.
Would that financial peril or concern affect your ability to come into the four walls of this courtroom and provide these parties and their interests with your undivided attention?
Yes.
And could that also affect your ability to be fair and impartial both to the state of Georgia as well as to each individual defendant?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Smith, anything further? Anything further on behalf of any individual defendant? May I excuse juror 1373 for hardship? Madam, I'm excuse you for hardship. Wish you the best, okay? Thank you.
Cool.
1402, Mr. Randolph? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, sir. Juror 1402, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Madam, you identified for hardship, and I want to say the basis was that you're a caregiver. Is that correct?
Yes,
Who are we taking care of?
my father-in-law, he lives in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. He's 96 years old. Had a stroke in January 13th, and he was in the hospital for 10 days, rehab for 2 weeks, and then he's currently in an assisted living facility. My brother-in-law, who lives in Connecticut, and his wife, we share responsibility, and we go down there. I've been down there, let's see, every month since January for a week, 2 weeks at a clip. And my brother-in-law and his wife actually just got diagnosed with cancer, and she's going to be having chemo and immunotherapy until October. So they're out of the loop. So it's just my husband and I now that are overseeing his care, which means we basically take him to all of his appointments.
And both you and your husband are retired, is that correct?
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Mr. Smith, anything, sir? No, sir. Anything on behalf of an individual defendant? No question. May I excuse your 1402 for hardship? No question. Madam, I'm going to excuse you for hardship. Wish you well, okay?
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. 1403, Mr. Randolph. Juror 1403, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
All right, madam, do me a favor. Pull your chair up as close as you can to the microphone. Speak directly into it so we can all hear you, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right, wonderful. Madam, you identified for hardship, and I want to say the basis for that hardship is that you are moving across the country to California. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm in the process of moving to California.
When are you moving to California?
Well, my house is currently listed for sale, so I'm just waiting until that is completed, and then I'll be moving.
Do you have a listing agreement or something you can show me showing that your house is being sold?
I do have.
Can you show me something on it? Do you have a document or you have something on your phone you can show me?
I have the copy of the Zillow app.
Madam, when did you list, or when was this listed?
April. It was listed on May the 1st.
Okay, all right. Counsels, I'm in possession of a document that Juror 1403 has given us. It is a Zillow listing, and it shows it's been on a couple of days, but that would be consistent with what she just told us for sale. I'm going to include this in the next court exhibit in order. So you're going to move as soon as it's sold, and your intent is to be a resident of the state of California?
Yes.
What's out in California? Why are you moving?
Oh, I'm the only person in my family that lives in the Atlanta region.
Oh, so
and my mother lives with my sister in California, and she's 84 years old. And I'm moving to help my sister with my mother. She's not disabled or anything like that, but, you know, help with cook her meals and make sure she goes outside and sit down and gets sun. Stuff like that, because my sister works a lot of hours, and my mother, she has a bad knee.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Mr. Smith, anything, sir? Anything further on behalf of any individual defendant? May I excuse Juror 1403 for hardship? All right. Madam, we're going to excuse you for hardship and wish you well in your next chapter, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, madam.
Thank you.
All right, councils, that appears that resolves all of the hardships that we have for today. Tomorrow, the 18th of May, Thursday, we will take up additional hardships. Ms. Von Kelch, how many people do we have estimated? I mean, no, it's not exact science, but how many people do we have scheduled? Oh, she stepped out. Okay, all right. In fact, I think she has some other things she got going on. So she'll let us know in the morning. Councils, if you all could be in place or thereabouts around 9:30, we'll get started promptly at about 10 o'clock. And we'll take up hardships until we are done with those tomorrow. Just as a reminder, remember the 19th, which is Friday, we will be entertaining Group 7. And that will be in the juror assembly room on the 7th floor. What are your questions at this time of me? All right, hearing none, then councils, I'll see you all tomorrow morning then, okay? All right, we're in recess. Okay.